Hello, my name's Kelly. I'm with fitnessblender.com and today I have a Pilates and cardio workout for you. This is a low impact workout that I'm going to show modifications all the way through in order to make it easier or harder depending on what you need. You won't need any equipment at all for this, and I've included both your warm up and your cool down. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we're starting off nice and light with 30-second cardio intervals. Like I said, really easy. We're just warming up the body, preparing the mind and the muscles. We're going to start arms overhead, deep breath in, and then exhale back down. And all of these exercises, including this one, you should do at your own pace. So whatever works for you. If you want to get a little bit of a march in there, start warming up our lower body as well. We're definitely hitting our lower body today. Alright, next up, we're going to be stepping forward plus a ventral lift. Alright, so here we go. Breathe in, scoop up, exhale, and step back. Same thing on the other side. 5 seconds left, and we're going to switch to an IT stretch or step. So here we're just stepping side and lean just briefly so that it feels good, and then slowly switch sides. So take your time here, again, any pace you like, and it feels good to coordinate with the breath. So inhale in, enjoy that stretch, and then exhale as you sweep and switch to that opposite side. Alright, 5 seconds. I'm going to switch to a chest opener and a reach. This is another really feel-good one. So really over-exaggerate, reach forward so you feel stretched through your upper back, and then open up your arms so you feel a stretch through your chest. You can also add in steps here again if you want. Inhale forward and exhale back. Inhale forward and exhale back. Alright, next up we're doing a single leg walker. So right here, you're going back and forth, just forward and back on one single leg. So if you're lacking in balance, you can shorten that step so that you're not moving very far. As you feel more confident, try to lengthen the stride there. Alright, we're going to switch sides. So right here, cross forward and back. Remember, your easier modification is just a shorter step. So this should feel good, especially during the warm-up. Alright, next up we're going to be doing marches plus kicks. So 3 marches plus a kick. So 1, 2, 3, and kick. 1, 2, 3, and kick. So it doesn't matter how high your marches or your kicks are. All that matters is that you're moving and making it work for you. If you want to, you can just stay right here and just lift your heels off the ground and just barely, it's all about what you're comfortable with. So make it work for you. 5 seconds left. Alright, next up we're going to be doing a step back plus an overhead press. So back, pretend like you've got weights, and then pull down. Up, and pull down. So now, as we're getting more warm, we can start to think about really starting to warm up those muscles, to use those muscles, start contracting your muscles, and doing more intention, more flexion in those muscles as you're doing these movements. And you can start to deepen your range of motion as you start to feel warm. Alright, next up we're doing a 3 side step lunge. So 1, 2, and a shallow little lunge to the side, back to center. 1, 2, and 3. So we're just kind of practicing controlling our bodies through different places. And it's just a nice little warm up for the work that's about to start. All right, almost done, and then we're going to step up our cardio a little bit with fly jacks. 2 and 1. All right, so your low impact option is right here. So you're just stepping side to side, opening up the chest. If you want, you can bring in higher cardio. So make sure that you're landing soft and using a full range of motion. Ten seconds left, and we'll be done with our warm-up. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so the only thing you need is an optional mat if you're not on a soft surface. Otherwise, we'll jump right into that Pilates routine. All right, guys, we're going to be going back and forth between lower body Pilates sets and low impact cardio. So we're going to start off with a kneeling reverse leg lift. So weight in your hands and knees, and you're going to be bending at the knee and pressing up. So this is a slow and intentional motion, and in fact you want a little bit of pause right there at the top. Kind of just let it squeeze for a second, slow, lower it back down in a controlled way. So this is all about not using momentum. Everything's intentional and controlled, and you're really focusing on feeling this. So this is a great workout for beginners, but you can also make this really as difficult as you want as well by adding ankle weights or bands, dumbbells where appropriate. You really need to get creative and do what you need to make it work for you. And just like you can make it harder, you can also make it easier. So our 45-second interval is almost up here. We're going to get a quick 15-second break and then do the other side. So if you want to, you can actually work through these rest periods. If you want to make it harder, just cut down on the rest a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to be switching to that other side. You can shake out your muscles real quick if you want. Take a nice deep breath. Pull in your core and start on that other side. So slow and controlled. But yeah, if you want to make it easier, you can do fewer repetitions. You can take longer rest breaks. You can do all kinds of different things. But the important thing is that you're moving. And never get intimidated. If there's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, or if there's a movement you're not sure of, just jog in place or do an exercise that you do feel comfortable with until you feel a little stronger. We've got about 15 seconds left here. Three, 2, and 1. All right, next up we're going to be doing a combination of fire hydrant plus an extension to the side. So this is kind of like back and behind us, not straight behind us, not to the side, but it's just targeting a different angle there. So first we're going to do this basic hydrant move right here, and then lower back down to extend out into a 90. So we're mixing up the moves here. So try to make sure that you're not shifting your body weight, that you're not compensating or leaning or opening up from the floor in order to make any of these movements happen. You want to stay facing down towards the ground. And if you have to lessen your range of motion in order to keep the form strong, go ahead and do that. So if you can only lift your leg just a little bit, that's fine. 15 seconds left. Make sure you're not holding your breath. 5 seconds left, and we'll switch to the other side. All right, quick rest. Take a breather, shake out your muscles. All right, 3 seconds left. Here we go. So to the side, that hip hinge, and then back and to the side. And a lot of control, you're going to tell a lot of work is coming from your upper body. Even though this is a butt and thigh exercise, your core and your whole upper body are also working to stabilize. So really everything's getting a little bit of work here. Yeah. Keep it going. We have our first cardio interval coming up in just under 10 seconds here. All right, so I'm going to jump up, and next up we're going to be doing a side lunge plus a side lift. So again, I'm going to show modifications. There's ways that you can make this a really easy low impact cardio routine, or you can step it up with weights. It's all up to you. So I'm going to be doing a side lunge, come back up, and then lift. So this is another one of those movements you want to use control. So you don't want to fling your leg up. You're in control the whole time for the lifting, the lowering, all of it. So only do as much as you can that you have control over. And you can keep these squats or these side lunges. You can stay as shallow as you need to if your knees bother you or anything like that. Just kind of start small, and then as you can, just go deeper with that range of motion. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way, kind of. And next up, we're going to do 2 side step squats. So you can stay in the squat the whole time. If you want to challenge yourself, you can also add weights to make it even harder. You can sink into a squat, back nice and flat, and you're gonna step to the side, 2 steps this way, and 2 steps back. So we're just going back and forth. If you need to, you can do those 2 steps and come up for a rest in between, sink back down, and do those 2 steps again. So you can also sink lower and nice and low. It's all about whatever you need today. Listen to your body. Already halfway through this interval. Back nice and flat, your weight predominantly in your heels. Pulling your core, keep your chin up. All right, next up we're gonna be doing slow jumping jacks plus a knee and a curl. And I swear it's less complicated than it sounds. But it is kind of a coordination challenge. So we're working our minds here too, which is really important. We want coordination, you wanna feel good when you move, right? So, slow jumping jack, just opening up to the side, come back to the center, bring up that knee and curl. Come back down, side, down, and curl. So if you want to, this is another one that you can either add weights to it, or you can bump up the cardio challenge by actually doing a jumping jack with this in between. So choose what works for you. And if it makes you feel awkward, don't feel bad. That's part of the point. That's what we're doing here, right? Is we're getting better. Right, about 10 seconds left. All right, so next up, we're going to be doing a step forward plus a ventral raise. So this is another one that you can make very easy or very difficult depending on how deep you go when you step forward. So this can be a simple step forward, and you can do this slow if you like, or you can pick up the pace. Maybe you want to sweat more, then you want to work your muscles hard today, or you can drop down into that lunge. And so you're going to be slowing it down a lot, but your muscles, your lower body's going to be working a lot harder. So just pick what works for you and whatever your goal might be today. Got 5 seconds left. Okay, so this is our water break. Just grab a quick drink of water and we'll start right back into it. Alright guys, we're already halfway done with our hard work, so we're going to jump down to the mat here and do side-lying leg raises. So, get comfortable here on your side, and we're going to be keeping your foot flexed so you get a good calf stretch there. Lift up slowly, hold just for maybe a second or two, depending on how much of a challenge you want, right at the top there, and then lower down to just hover over that other leg. So you're never resting your leg, your muscles are always engaged, unless you need that rest, in which case feel free to drop your leg all the way down and just relax briefly in between sets. Otherwise, try to keep hovering. So a good breathing pattern is to exhale while you raise up, and then inhale as you come back down. All right, there's our 15 seconds rest. Like I said, you can work right through this rest period if you want to make the sets longer and the challenge harder. Otherwise, we're going to get set up for that next set. So feet are stacked together, knees bent, body in an otherwise straight line, and you're just hinging at the hip right here. So just opening up, so you should feel this right here. And in fact, if you want to, just give your muscles a little tap right there. It's a good way to help build that mind-body connection. This is where you should be feeling it. Wake up, muscles! So really focus on squeezing and getting the most out of that range of motion. And don't worry about a big range of motion. It's more about staying mindful of it and careful. You don't want to feel any pain. You just want to feel some muscle tension, and then you stop before you feel any pain. Got about 5 seconds left. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side of the body. So just flip sides. And my mat is apparently not big enough to make the difference I need here. So foot flexed, come up nice and slow, and lower back down. And if you need more instruction on how to use this routine exactly, we do a write-up on every single one of our videos. There'll be a link in the description, and you can learn a lot more about what you're doing and why. Sometimes that really helps in the motivation department if you know why you're doing what you're doing. Alright, so remember that option of working through the rest periods if you want. Otherwise, feet stacked. I'm going to do that hip hinge on the same thing we did on the other side of the body. Got 5 seconds rest left. And here we go. Just hinge. Just make sure that you're not rocking open to get more range of motion. It's just really more about focus than big movement. Slow and controlled. Remember that pause at the top if you really want to get a little extra burn out of it. And again, bands will definitely step up the challenge here. So feel free to make those modifications. Exhale during the raise when you're really working hard. Inhale on the way back down. Got about 5 seconds left, and then we're going to go back to that cardio. Alright, so take your time getting up. You don't have to be on the same time as me. So we're going to be doing single leg runners. These are kind of fun. So you can make them, again, as easy or as difficult as you like. I feel like a broken record here. But really, truly, so you're doing single leg, so you can go nice and slow, or you can really pick up the pace. So it's all about what works for you. We're going to be splitting this interval, so we do half on one side and half on the other. Keep going, and remember that slower option. And you don't even have to bring up your foot. You could really just come up here if you don't feel very strong in the balance department just yet. All right, switch sides. And get those arms moving. Get your heart pumping. Keep your core strong. Five seconds left. Alright, there we go. Next up, we're doing warrior jacks. So this is a nice smooth motion, and we're going to be kind of doing a gentle lunge on either side. Again, adjust the depth to work for what you need. So come up nice and strong. Lean to one side. Come to the center and go to the other. Try to be as symmetrical as you can on the two sides. and this is also another one you can either speed up to get a higher amount of cardio from it, or you can go a lot deeper into that lunge and make it more of a strength challenge. 5 seconds left. All right, next up, we're going to be doing an overhead press plus a 3-point step. So this is just another one to make us feel a little bit goofy and uncoordinated, and it generally, ultimately, makes us less goofy and more coordinated. So at least you can do it in the privacy of your own home, right? So we're going up as if we're doing an overhead press, overhead, to the side, and back. Switch sides, overhead, to the side, and back. And you can actually add actual weights to this if you like, to step up the challenge. Otherwise, we're just kind of opening up 360 movement here. Keep it going. And if we want to really mess with our brains, let's do it backwards. So we're going to go back, to the side, and forward. Next, other side, back, to the side, and forward. Alright, so we're going to grab that mat again. This is our last cardio-esque exercise of this routine. And we're going to be doing a bird dog. So this is really good for balance and your core and your back. So weight in your hands and knees. And you have multiple options here. You can go opposite, and this is harder on balance, but just hold it there for just a second before you slowly lower, and then repeat on the opposite side. So if this feels like a lot, or if you feel wobbly, the option is just to do one limb at a time. Just slow and methodical, just take your time, and just let it feel good. So this option definitely requires a little more core strength and balance, so do what you need to. Alright, so that's it for our cardio and Pilates. Now we're going to do a feel-good kind of yoga-inspired cool down here. So we'll start, since we're in this position, with cat-to-cow. So go ahead and arch up as much as you can, comfortably, and then exhale, slowly reverse that motion. So this should feel really good. Just enjoy the stretch on either range of motion or either end of this. Alright, let's do one more of those. Alright, so staying right here. You're going to keep in the same position where you're going to round back to yourself. So you're getting a good stretch through this opposite side of your body. Don't press too hard, you're not going to need a lot to feel it, but it should feel really good through your sides and your torso and your back. And just rest here for a second. Make sure you're keeping not crowding your neck at all. Don't lock out your elbows. And switch sides. Just take a nice couple deep breaths here. Take a minute to recognize that you have just shown up for yourself in the form of a workout, which is fantastic. Alright, next up we're going to lay down flat. And we're going to stretch our quads, but we're going to do one at a time here. Just pull. You don't want to compress your knees. You want to be really gentle, but just gently pull so you get a little stretch through the front of your thighs there, through your quads. Alright, switch sides. And again, just take some nice deep breaths here. Just relaxing at this point. All right, next up, I could have fallen asleep there, I feel like. That would have been nice. You're gonna lean up for a cobra, so you can press yourself all the way up if you need to for a deeper stretch, or you can just prop yourself up on your forearms here. Just never, stretching is always a question, is what you have to remember. You're never demanding anything of your body. You're asking, and you're asking politely, and you have to keep in mind that the answer it gives you might be different every single day, and it's important to respect that. So again, right here, nice couple deep breaths. Make sure your shoulders aren't hunching up towards your neck. Your feet together. All right, so next up we're going to press up and we're going to stretch our calves here. So in a kneeling position, just go ahead and put that foot down on the ground and act as if you're trying to get your heel on the ground. So you should get a good stretch through the calves there. Okay, switch sides. Just kind of lean gently into that. Again, try not to lock out your elbows. Just good body mechanics. Try to keep them in mind all the time. Alright, so now we're going to flip over and target the back of our thighs here, our hamstrings. So I'm going to do this. If you have a strap, that'll feel even better. Sometimes even just use a t-shirt, even just body weight alone, taking your foot straight up in the air and then pulling that toe back towards your body is going to give you a nice stretch through your hamstring as well as your calves again. And if you really want to target your hamstring, pull your leg in just gently so that you feel nice till you hit a little bit of resistance. And it should never hurt. You should not feel any pain. Otherwise, just lay here, take a nice deep breath, nice slow deep breath, send that breath all the way down to your belly. And really just try to let go of any tension, any stress you might be carrying, if not even just for a few minutes. Alright, so slowly lower that leg back down. Kick the other one up there. And same thing here. You can pull, if you want more of a calf stretch, pull that toe down towards yourself. And if you want a stretch through the back of the thigh, you're going to bring that straight leg closer to yourself. And you might find, again, this is where the strap or something to help you leverage might come in handy. Maybe you can only get your leg here, and that's totally fine too. So just do what you can. Alright, now we're going to do a torso stretch. So, arms out flat here. Try not to keep your shoulders on the ground so that all the movement is through your waist here. And then just roll over. You should feel a stretch through your back, and your sides, core, and a little bit through this thigh as well. Slowly roll over and we'll switch sides here. Same thing on the opposite side. Alright, let's do one more. This one always feels amazing when we're finished with the workout. We'll do a full body stretch, so arms and legs stretched out in opposite directions, and we're going to kind of inch back and forth from side to side. And relax for just a second. We'll do that a couple times. Just completely relax. Take a nice deep breath, and we'll do it again. And relax. Alright guys, we did it. So we made it through the workout. So I want you to take a second to just, again, feel how you feel right now that the work is done, and kind of bottle this feeling up for any of the times that you're feeling less motivated to get your workout in. So pat yourself on the back for showing up. I'm really grateful that you came to work out with me, and I will see you soon for more new workouts. Good job, guys. This workout is complete.